Nay, your eyes doeth not deceive you. A Kingdom Hearts video landing on this channel. What's good? My fellow Kingdom Hearts peasants, I just had to do this video because I just got finished watching of Kingdom Hearts content back to back in preparation for Kingdom Hearts 3, which is so close now. And if you're interested, I've left a playlist link in the description. It was really fun to do that marathon, but what did I learn? What did I learn? The real reason this is the most memeable game franchises in the history of franchises? That Kingdom Hearts isn't something you understand. It understands you on a meta-psychoanalytical level that analyzes even your most innocent of subconscious traits, simply so it can wield them against you like a vicious hatchet to your feels. Meta-psychoanalytical. What does that even mean? Totally made that up, but if KH can get away with stringing every other word dredged up from a thesaurus together to sound deep, then it's taught me that so can I. But for real, doing this chunky movie marathon, diving down the Alice hole, that sounded bad. I've got to say, I gained something deeper, an understanding that ironically opposed to the reason I started this marathon. I started this because I felt I needed to understand the lore of Kingdom Hearts better. The characters, who's a naught, a nobody, a heartless of who, what's in the Lushu, does mum want to do, what happened in Cuck's Com in 0.22, exactly how many people are squatting in Sora's heart right now, and what's the latest catastrophic event to befall the Cecil, Destiny, Disney or Wayfinder crew, or any of the other bazillion trios that exist in these games for that matter. I felt like I needed to know all of this stuff urgently before Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, because if I didn't, then I wouldn't fully know the significance of events when they happened. You know, like, for example, when Zeo is being a naughty boy, or just how fucked out of 10 Venice's latest appearance means we are. You know, all of that. I felt like I needed to know all of that, but you know what? After watching all of this again, it kind of taught me that, as weird a concept as this might seem, that it taught me it's fine not to understand everything, and that you don't need to. Because if anything, unless you've had years to digest this stuff, trying too hard to get every nugget of this lore, it will just induce what I can unequivocally avouch exists. And I call it Castle Oblivion syndrome, which is to find is to lose and to lose is to find. I legit got to this stage repeatedly where the more I try to cram the story details into the conscious part of my brain, the more basic lore parts just slipped out. By the end of it, I was forgetting even my own dog's names. I was even started forgetting the basics of like who Xemnas was again. Now I know what some of you are going to say. Pez, you're just a donut, mate, which I'd say definitely yes. But the point I'm making is that after sitting and combing through each of these titles, I can definitely say I understand so much more. And yet the funny realization coming from that is that now I see that I didn't need to, or that it wasn't a problem. It wasn't something to be remedied, that I would, only be able to discuss or speculate Kingdom Hearts content if my knowledge was above a certain threshold. Otherwise I'd sound stupid in discussing it. That's what I thought. But now I'm somewhat closer to being very clued up on this story. I see that it didn't matter, and there is actually something almost poetic in that. A beautiful parallel, if you like, to the message that lies at the core of Kingdom Hearts itself. What it's about, what it's really about, and as cheesy as it's going to sound, it's feeling. It really is feeling. You can think your way through this franchise all you like and feel like the most superior kid on the block sitting on his throne of lore knowledge all you like, but if you didn't feel your way through the experience, if you missed that, that is when you've missed the point of Kingdom Hearts. Because your emotional connection to the personalities and the events that are unfolding, it transcends the logical understanding that you may or may not have of what's happening. For example, I didn't for the longest time realise, really for the longest time, the real extent of the tragedy between Xion and Roxas' friendship. I didn't understand it. I didn't understand Ventus at all, either coming up to that, or why he looked like Roxas, or how these two came from Sora, or how Xion was sapping from Roxas, just from being in proximity, and what the Org was doing to stage that situation, and why neither of them at the end of it could actually really exist. I had such a tenuous grasp on all of that, yet despite lacking all of that, did I still, on my first playthrough, ignorant of all of this, still feel my heart bleed out? Did I still cry worse than when my sister made me hand-cut 300 poxy onions for her chutney, which this now cues a very shameless plug of a home-baked tasty store. Link in the description, grab a pack today. I'd really appreciate it. I love seeing them flourish in this business so much. But yeah, I did. I still felt it. I felt it just like I felt every other emotion in Kingdom Hearts, you know. All of the others, the trepidation, the hype, the feels for happenings in the series that when I actually think back and I under a microscope, could I have repeated back accurately what was happening, or did I fully have a clue? No, I didn't. But even once I did understand these events, I look back and I see that my feelings, they were the same. My connection to the characters, they haven't differed. You know, sure, some of my appreciation for the nuances of the circumstances of the scenarios they were in, and it's definitely developed some of my appreciation for them, but I can see my feelings weren't misguided and they didn't not hit the mark. They really did. And there's something poetic in that, and something that's really strong about Kingdom Hearts, because actually when you think about it, you are Sora. You're Sora. This game somehow turns you into Sora, and that being that most of the time what Sora has to do in this journey, the way he has to experience his own journey, is almost the same as how we have to experience it on our first blind run. You know, I think Tron said it perfectly. You have the ability to take illogical routes, yet still arrive at the answers you seek. And how many times do we see Sora make decisions, determinations, or even form connections with characters? Naminé definitely stands out very strongly, that he had no clue about. That was based on nothing more than a feeling, a willingness. What his heart said about that situation transcended his knowledge of it. And it was all the more powerful, but also all the more accurate for it. And that's kind of what the game kept teaching us about Sora, is that even if you didn't know what was happening, which there's going to be so many people even coming into Kingdom Hearts 3 who are daunted, and this is why I want to make this video, is there isn't any need to be daunted, because you can still enjoy this franchise. And this was the realization for me, you can still enjoy this franchise regardless of how many you've played or how many years you've been digesting this stuff. You know, going back to Sora, how often is our MC flailing in the dark for logical, conscious answers? But even when he does have them, he's actually not that much better off for it than what his instinctual journey was saying. In fact, I highly theorize that Kingdom Hearts 3 Sora is gonna make the mistake of trying to understand all what's happening in this damn series, hence the... That's what happens if you try, so don't bother, is one. So, from one now, can definitely affirm myself and state I am a Kingdom Hearts fan now. It's won me damn heart. It's brought me too many times to the brink of tears and beyond. So from one new Kingdom Hearts fan who has only recently, as a couple years ago, got into this, and it was because I avoided this franchise at first. The reason, because I felt intimidated by it. I felt intimidated by its fan base, to be honest, and what I'd heard of it and its reputation. My message is that Kingdom Hearts is for everyone, on all levels of understanding. Even if you want to be a deep diver, or you like to just go along for the ride, feeling your way through it, those feelings aren't wrong. And you can talk and you can express what you think and feel about it without believing you need to have the full bulk of understanding to back those feelings up. And as for the fans that I was once intimidated by, actually I've learned that the Kingdom Hearts fans, who I did think would have this sort of lore superiority complex that I'd be perpetually trying to catch up with, that doesn't actually exist. Or if they do, they are a minority, because what I've come into experience is that they've been the warmest, most cordial welcomers of me into this saga, and I thank them for that, who actually recognize, scrap that, have fun with exploring interesting lore and theory details. They play with it. They haven't put any rules or barriers in place because, well, I don't think any could even possibly exist. But they know that the story nuances, the really itty-gritty details of Kingdom Hearts, which there are so many, that they are just a fun byproduct of the Kingdom Hearts experience, not the experience itself. It's one of the aspects that makes it so repeatedly. I know you could play this again and again, keep replaying it, and you'll be experiencing fresh new realizations each time, and I love that. I love that. Having that depth to explore, should you want to, is what keeps this franchise so fantastically engaging, but it's not the be-all and end-all. because even now that I know so much more about the series than I did, I see that what I felt going on my journey was remarkably subconsciously accurate, if that's the right way to say it. And I think that is a huge kudos to Square Enix and Nomura. A kudos that you can experience these games with two completely different levels of investment, and yet with both of those experiences, both do have a remarkable way of giving you an accurate picture of the emotions, the hardships, the trials, and just basically the feels that this game is trying to portray. But regardless, the time is here. Kingdom Hearts 3, I don't know when I'm getting this video out, but it's pretty much upon us. And there's going to be no leads or years of head start now for any of us. We are all now going to be on square one. We are all going to be Soras going on a new journey that at times we will be forced to instinctively feel our way through the understanding. And the message from my marathon is to ride that wave, guys, because it is glorious when you do, when you don't get yourself caught up or tripped up or hung up on the details. Because really, and despite what all of the reviews are probably going to come out and say, about its convoluted plot, story and where it went, Kingdom Hearts is about so much more than that. And it's that beauty that I cannot wait to dive in and find. When I get my copy, I will be live streaming Kingdom Hearts 3 here on this channel, so subscribe and hit the notification button if you want to be a part of it. I'm going to try to be very slow paced in it, and I'll probably start it on Wednesday, give everyone a day's head start, and then I'll probably do about 2 hours every day or every other day to try to keep it that way. But I'm freaking excited. So if you plan to pop in, I can't wait to see you there, guys. But if you don't, I wish you all an incredible time of joy, suspense, and probably heartbreak on all of your individual Kingdom Hearts journeys. Have a blast, guys, and I will see you on the next video. May your heart be your guiding Pow!